Hi.
And we are live, Carolina. We are absolutely live. So,
Hi.
hello. Nobody knows this secret, right? That if we move to the other side.
Yeah,
Anyway, we have a lot to cover today. Why not? Let's get started and let other people join as and when they join, and we can keep on repeating what is it that we are doing. So,
okay.
to start, I will get us started, which is we are here to launch our 21-day finance challenge. Woohoo!
I'm so
And
excited about this. I've been waiting for this all year.
I think we should have done it. I wish this should be part of a college program. When you are in college, you should go through this 21-day challenge or, mini minor micro boot camp wherein you practice good habits about your finance, you improve your relationship with finance.
Yeah,
And that way, not only you make the money that you deserve, but also take care of money that you have and save and be mindful with your money.
exactly. That would be so valuable.
Yes. So that's what we are trying to do. Better late than never, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's something that I've been working on as well of saying like, no, it's too late. I'm never going to figure this out, but no, just do
Yeah.
it.
Never ever too late. Never ever too late. Let's remind ourselves, never ever too late. So that's why we are going to do this. It's
Yeah.
not only for everyone who is watching or going to be watching in the future, it's for ourselves also. This
Hmm.
21-day finance challenge is going to build new finance habits for all of us. It's going to improve our relationship with our money, and it's extremely easy. We worked on this for last entire month. Carolina, me, Katie, and a lot of inputs from Clara, who had joined us last time, and a lot of you in the community. And we
Yeah.
have created these small steps that we are going small tasks that we are going to do every day starting from Monday for 21 days. And at the end of it, hopefully, I'm pretty sure. What do you think, Carolina? Are you sure that it's going to improve our relationship with money and going to make us rich?
Yeah, 100%, or at least put us on the path to making us rich. Because I think that even if we just take one thing from the challenge and or open our eyes about a certain thing or pay more attention to a certain thing, that's already, I think, a really important step in this journey towards improving our relationship with money.
Yeah. And even if, like the first thing is to recognize we have a problem and start working on it. So even if a lot of us don't try to look at our money and do anything about our money because one is we don't understand it, a lot of things. So we just don't want procrastination. We just don't
Yeah.
want to deal with it. So this small steps are going to help us with that. Let us put up our nice video that we put up in and anyone listening to us, in short, let me we said a lot of things, Carolina and I, both of us. So
Mhm.
today we are going to talk about 21 days challenge. We are going to together, we are going to go over each task from that challenge, and we are going to tell you why we are doing this,
Yeah.
and if whether you take that challenge today or take it from fewer take it you happen to land on this video or this podcast few years after we have recorded. This is February 2021 today. Even if you see it after a few years, this is still relatable and relevant. So anytime you see this or listen to this podcast or see this video, make sure that you follow through it for 21 days, and it will, we guarantee you, it will change your relationship with your money and eventually will make you rich. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm
And
very
here,
excited to
are you
get.
ready, Carolina?
I'm ready.
This is the our favorite video. Tan, ta-dan!
Beautiful. I love that. I love that illustration. It's so cool.
That's our vision. That's our vision. So I'm going to share my screen now. Oh, I should have put this up somewhere. Now everyone is going to see the stuff on my screen. One second. Where did it go? Let me open it and keep it open in one of the tabs. Yes, I have opened it. Hmm. Just give me 1 second, okay? Yes, I know everybody. I should have done this earlier.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. Open with, open and find it. Yes, yeah. So I have a better version of it open in front of. And what you're going to see, everyone, you're going to see it as a form of a checklist. So when you try to follow through it, it will be easier for you. And we are going to share it in other forms also with you. We'll give you the Excel link also. Sorry, Google Sheets link. So many things. Chrome. Oh, this thing makes it very easy. You can actually, okay, okay, share. Huh. So Chrome has lost permission to share my screen.
Oh
So,
no.
do you have it with you, Carolina?
Yeah. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can share my screen.
Let me try it one more time. If I cannot do it, then you do it. Okay. Let me try it one more time.
Okay.
Share screen, Chrome tab. This is fun, right? It's like, what could go wrong?
Hey. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, but a wrong one. Ah, there it is. Yeah. Sorry about that. We'll need to edit that. I have no idea what it was. Yeah. Uh, can you see it now?
No, it's not shared anymore. It got shared and then it went away.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay. I'm just going to
Hmm.
close all the tabs on my computer. Uh, I never do this for anything else in my world. You know that I never close any tabs ever.
That's my brain with all the tabs open constantly.
Yeah, yeah. People, please have patience, and you can start writing. You can start asking questions if you have any questions. Not that we have shared anything as of now, but do you see it now?
Yes, now I see it.
Yeah. Do you know how to remove this little thing? No.
Yeah, right there.
There
Exactly.
it is. Yes, gone. Yes. 1 second. Let's make it like nice and big. Okay.
Perfect.
So, do you want to take the first one, Carolina?
Yes. Okay, so our first task, write down 3 financial goals for 2021. Yeah, so I think that those could be any kinds of goals, right? Like it can even be something really, really small. It doesn't have to be like make hundreds of thousands of dollars. It could just be like learn how to budget, like it can be a very simple thing.
Yeah. I can add a little bit to that because I'm the one who wrote this one. This has been created by many people together and we collaborated on this. So I wrote this task. So what I was thinking is write down that goal and write down in the form of like, SMART goal, where
Mhm.
you write it in the form of this year I want to make X amount of money by December 2021. You know, and don't think too much about it. Just dream. Give yourself
Mhm.
a opportunity to dream, or say that this year I'm going to save X amount of money every month, or this year I am going to start making some investments, or
Mhm.
I'm going to create a budget that works for me. Anything, no matter, it doesn't matter if it's a month, you're going to achieve it in a month or by end of the year. Don't go
Yeah.
beyond that. So that was my point of writing it. Write down those goals. And That
Yeah.
is it. That is your task for day one. Let's go to the next one. Let's go a little fast because there are 21 of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to take the next one or?
Sure. Make a list of your finance challenges. So for me, I think I'm the one who wrote this one. So that that was thinking about all of the challenges that I have in terms of finances, like all of the little things that trip me up or um, make me feel stuck. And so for me, that's like all kinds of things. Like for instance, just opening up my bank account is a challenge for me. So I tend to avoid that. Um, Talking about money with people in general makes me uncomfortable, so that's a challenge that I have. Um, so really my goal here was just to bring awareness to things that we sometimes don't even realize are a challenge, and we just ignore them. And then if we can bring awareness to them, then that's already a huge step towards overcoming those challenges.
Yeah. In a cheesiest way, it is that thing of saying, mm, my name is Purnima and I am XYZ addict.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
first step to anything and improving anything is recognizing that you have a problem. So that's why we are going to make a list of challenges. This is ridiculous, but my computer is dying. I'm going to get my charger. Sorry. Oh my
Okay.
god.
Oh, this is great. We encountered all the challenges today with this live.
Yes, yeah. Everything, because it was just Carolina. I was like, oh, I don't need to prepare for anything. We'll just do it.
It's just you and me.
Yeah, it's just you and me. We're going to do it.
But that's the thing. We were just talking about that beforehand too, right? Like about just doing things and not having them be absolutely perfect before we just go ahead and do it. It's better to have them done to have them perfect. So
Yeah. So, Sherry, thank you for that question. Thank you so much for that question. So, I I haven't personally done that for this year, but there was one year that I had decided that I want to save enough money to, or put enough money in my bank account to be able to make a down payment on my home. So that was my goal of one year. Then another year I decided that always in my life I want to have a fallback fund, because all of us work hard a lot. And sometimes, there is going to be time in my life when I will think that I just don't want to work for a few months. And if I ever decide, or, life happens, something happens and I'm not able to work, I need to have that fallback fund. So I decided that I should save enough money so that I always have at least 6 to 10 months of runway with me. So those are the examples of goals.
yeah,
And hope that helps. And we'll go to the third one because we have 21 to cover.
yeah,
So this I wrote this one, which is prioritize your financial goals. So the financial goals, we might have list of them. We might come up with 3, 5, whatever. But it's important that we create our focus. So intuitively think about what's the most important thing for you this year. It's not about the
mhm,
life, just this year, and just write
yeah,
it down. And I even suggest write it down on a piece of paper and put it somewhere where you can see it so that you
mhm.
remind yourself every day.
Yeah. And I would add to that as well. One of the issues that I have with goals is that I always feel like I want to do everything. Once I start doing goals, I want to do everything. And so being okay with the fact that you don't have to do everything at once and everything is going to be fine if you just focus on one thing this year.
Absolutely. That's the main thing. That's the
Yeah.
main thing about prioritizing, that you don't overwhelm yourself with the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's go to the next one. I know
Mhm.
Carolina and I can get into detail of any of these goals and talk about just one goal for the next 1 hour. Uh, do you want to talk about build a budget, Carolina?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is a big one for me as well. I don't have budgets. I just do things kind of intuitively, and if that works for you and it's great, that's great. But one thing that I want to get a little bit better on is having a more fixed or create a budget really. And it can be very simple from you can do things like just write down what your expenses are each month, what your income is each month. If you have variable income, like you're a freelancer, then you can maybe create the average of the last 3 months so that you have a sense of the kind of money that you get in monthly. Just define how much you're going to save each month, like a percentage, and then just review it consistently.
Yeah. And because, because I run my own business, our income also is different from standard salary. So
Mm-hmm.
how I had done this is I had created a budget for entire year, which is slightly overwhelming. But I like your way of doing it, wherein, take 3 months and average them out, which gives you a good sense of how much money you make. And then you
Yeah.
can create, then you can, and we will, when we come to that day, day, day 4 of creating a budget, we are going to share some resources with you. We will, Katie from Empowered Women team, she is master at building budgets, and I'm sure she'll make something for us, or she'll at least direct us in a right direction where to find it.
Awesome.
5 is about, Carolina, you want to go?
Yeah, celebrating successes. I am all about celebrating successes. I've become a master at celebrating even like the tiniest little things. Like I got out of bed this morning, like, like very small things, because honestly, that really does help. And it at least for me, it motivates me to keep going. So you can celebrate past successes and you can celebrate little successes, but just make sure that you take some time to celebrate that.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, Sherry has a suggestion. She is saying, freelancers, I would suggest that take 2 sample periods, lean period and busy period, and average that out.
It's a
Uh,
great idea.
Very good suggestion. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Carolina's and mine are, both of our businesses are pretty consistent. There's no seasonality. We didn't think of that, but that's a really good point. If you have any seasonality in your own money making, make sure that you take that into consideration. Thank you, Sherry. And celebrate successes. Yes. uh, go with what Carolina said. Exactly, do that, no matter how big. And this is for building confidence, so that day you're going to write down what you're proud of, and give yourself a pat on back that day in what you have achieved so far.
Yeah.
I am going to talk about the 6th one and going to scroll this a bit so we go to the next part of it.
Okay.
There, yeah, it has changed. So understand your indulgences. So there are certain expenses that you have to make in life. You don't have a choice. For example, I don't know, like feeding your children or feeding yourself, or having a car, or any commuting expense. There are a lot of things in life that you have to do, and there are certain things that are indulgences that that you can do without. So this is the day you are going to write down the distinction in your life about what is your indulgence and what is a necessity from
Mhm.
your point of view, for because for everyone it's different. Just a small example, like I I spend money on, having, cable, different channels, and things like that. It's it's because in my main business that pays my bills, it's very important for me to be aware of what's going on in the world and from different perspectives, and be aware of lots of things, so that doesn't become an indulgence. But someone else's life, that could be an indulgence, and it's very important to understand what is your indulgence and what is not. Any
Yeah.
thoughts, Carolina?
No, I think that's a really, really important to bring awareness to that. And also not not bring any guilt in that as well, right? Because sometimes we feel guilty about indulgences. So I think it's important just to know that indulgences are important as well and important for our mental health, and so just being aware of where you're spending is important.
Yeah. Yes, yes, absolutely. And I'm going to go to the next one because I wrote that and I wrote it so short that no one will be able to decipher it other than me. So Day of the Dead is the first one where we are going to think about, you're going to sit down and you're going to think about uh, what debts you have, and understand them slightly deeper. The difference between the mortgage, your educational debt, your credit card debt, and just this day is only to understand them. You don't need to yet act on them. We will do that later, but just take your time to face your debts and understand what's going on in your debt life.
Hmm.
And you get an extra day to do that, which is, on day 7 you understand the debts, and on day 8 you are going to understand the relationship between your money making, money earning, your money minus, which is your debts, and if you are already taking care of all these things, then investments.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, want to go to 9, Carolina?
Yes, spot the leakages, review subscriptions. That's a really important one. Yeah, no, just a lot of times we sign up for things and we forget that we signed up for things, or we don't need them anymore, and we still have like an auto pay set up. Um, or even things that, even if it's not an auto pay, just things that you recurringly spend every month that maybe you don't really need to. That can be a leak that you can stop.
Yeah. Yeah, and this day I invite you to have an image in your head of the bucket, and
Mm,
lots of holes to it. Like every subscription is a hole, and you can imagine how soon your bucket is going to get empty, even if it's just a small trickle that's going out of it.
yeah.
Just trying to scare you. Write down 3 money affirmations. This was Katie. Do you know what she meant?
Yeah, I think I might have written
Okay,
this.
then you go. Yeah.
Yeah, my affirmations. So I did a course a few months ago, and it was about understanding your relationship to money, relationship to how money is related to your self worth, and how your relationship to money is related to your relationship with self worth. And one of the things that was really helpful in that course was writing down affirmations. So things that it's just things that you repeat every day, that at first sound really weird and uncomfortable, but they're ways, as you repeat them over and over, it starts to rewire how our subconscious is thinking. So things like, I deserve to be compensated massively for my work, and repeating something like that over and over helps you feel like you do deserve to make money.
Yes. And I had that exact conversation with a friend, a longtime friend. And when she said that, she got a new job with a good raise, I was very happy for her. And then she said that, she doesn't know whether she deserves this. I had to,
Mm,
and giving affirmation to friend, because I didn't
yes.
even think that she would think like that, because in my head she's so awesome and she does deserve, and very hardworking and not scared of change, very adaptable, and you know has taken a big risk in life. So she has
Mm,
everything that one needs to make good money, I guess. And yet
yeah.
she was thinking like that. So I had to give her that affirmation. So yes, yeah, give yourself an affirmation and maybe find a friend where whom you can give it to.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So day 11 is just checking on,
Hmm.
remember we gave you that budget sheet that you were to fill in. Just check in with
Hmm.
yourself. This is an honor system. Just check in with yourself how you're doing with it. And we'll talk about it. We'll share it with each other, what I'm doing and what you're doing and how we are doing it.
Perfect.
Oh,
So the
12
next
is mine.
slide,
Yeah, 12 is mine again. Uh,
another day of debt.
yes. So by this day, on this day, what I want you to do is identify which one is your worst debt. Like which one is the debt that is sucking in most of your money, which is not in terms of the payments, but you need to see which is the debt that you are paying highest interest rate for. And this usually is the credit card debt. And so you are going to mark that debt, identify debt, and think or at least scribble some notes on how will you pay this one first. And
Perfect.
you thinking and identifying it is just the beginning. So if you do this, you will figure out some or the other way. And once you start thinking, then you can also take your friends' help and different people's help to figure out how you're going to do it. And
Yeah.
trust me, a lot of things have to do with your strategic thinking rather than actual money. So what we are
Mhm.
trying to do here is giving you obviously the boldness that Carolina talked about, and giving you the tools to think strategically about your money.
Yeah. Perfect.
Number 13, you go,
Take
Carolina.
take the first step towards investing. Okay, yeah. So I guess that could be anything from just learning about investing. For example, my first step towards investing was to start learning about what how it works. I started following some accounts on Instagram that offer some really good, um, starter information. There's this application called Elvest. That's really interesting, and they have a great Instagram account that has lots of information. So that was my first step. So I guess it could be any small thing.
Yeah, and exactly that's what is about the customization of, every each one of us is at a different step of different stage of a money journey, if we could call
Hmm.
it money journey. And by now, by this day, like we are on day 13, we know where we are at. And depending on where you are at, you can think about your investment. So if you have never, ever, ever invested in life, or if you don't think that you have the money to invest in anything, you can start. You can go back to your budget and you can see how you can create a bucket for investing some money.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you have money saved, then you can figure out, and you can identify what is your risk appetite. How, like, are you a risk taker or are you a risk averse person? And
Hmm.
uh, and yes, we will share a lot of resources also,
Yeah,
which are available, and we will curate them for you, where you can go and, you know based on your journey, you can pick your thing and you can do it. It could be learning about investment and taking that
yeah.
first step.
Nice.
Next one, you take it, Carolina.
Yeah, I wrote that one. Make a list of areas where you spend money that make you happy. So this is kind of related to what we were talking about with the indulgences before, but it's about realizing that money, how we spend our money, is also part of how we're investing in ourselves. And it doesn't all have to be, very serious and very like investment related. Money can be a source of bringing us some joy in different ways. So I like to take a moment to like write down all the things where you spend money that actually bring joy and happiness into your life. For example, for me, travel is very, very important, and that can be, sure, it's an indulgence, and I don't, necessarily need it, but it makes me so happy that it is something that I do want to make sure that I have money to invest in. And it can be anything. It can be like, buying plants and making sure that you have plants in your house, and that, because that makes you happy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, I save. I love food, and I don't spend there is nothing in my life where me and my husband we spend extravagantly at all. except for one thing. When we travel, we go to at least one really good restaurant and we treat ourselves and we save for that experience. And it's very important for us and it brings a lot of joy to us. And I'm glad that, I have someone in my life who enjoys similar things that I do. And so, yes. Oh my God, I'm thinking about all the travels and food and everything. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, back to our day 15. This is me. This is me. Monetize your side gig. So, a lot of us do a lot of things for hobbies and we do them anyways. I know that, many people might have told you that uh, moment you make your hobby your profession, you take the pleasure out of it. I would say that's not true because I have done it. And it may not get you a big money, it might get you really small money, but what you can do is you can create a bucket for that money. For example, I teach dance at local YMCA, which, money coming through it is really minuscule, but I created a retirement fund, and that money directly goes into that retirement fund. And I'm pretty sure one day I will look back on, I will not look at that fund at all because it's a small money, but it's the reverse of that subscription bucket.
Yeah.
And one day I'll suddenly realize that, oh my God, there's so much money in there. So think about what is it for you, which is your gig, something that gives you joy, but is an exceptional thing for you. And maybe you can make money off of it.
Yeah. I love that.
Number 16 is Carolina.
Learn about your personal relationship with finance. I feel like there's a there's a theme to the ones that I keep writing about. But yeah, so this one is about it's based on what I learned in that course about bringing awareness to what your relationship is with finances, with money. Maybe you also want to invest in a course to work on this relationship with money, or you just want to talk about it with your therapist or write about it in your journal or whatever it is. Just explore your relationship with finance and try to understand more about it.
Yeah. And I would like to add to it that money, fine, believe that money doesn't bring happiness, but all of us have a very deep relationship with money. We can't do without it. So might as well understand what our relationship is, and it is, some people have relationship of fear. uh,
Yeah,
Figure out what is that fear based on. Is it because you don't understand? Is it because you feel transactional if you think or talk about money? And another part, yeah, and getting in whether you are bold about your decisions, whether you're not, and how can you become what you want to become, and how can you change that relationship. And money relationship with money is like relationship in marriage, and
yeah,
it's even more important than marriage because in you can live, you can divorce a person but you can't divorce a money. You need it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. uh, a day of celebration again. What will we
Perfect.
celebrate that day, Carolina?
Yeah, I think it's important to periodically take a moment and take stock of everything and just celebrate everything that we've accomplished. Just the fact that we're doing a challenge like this, I think, is worthy of celebration because you are looking at things and taking steps. Even if you're only able to do one or two things from the list and you didn't follow the challenge every single day, that's still something to celebrate.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. And I can, I'm a very visual thinker. So I am already thinking about, how we are going to feel this day if we have, this is our day 17. This is our day 17. And we have already done so many things. I already feel good about feeling good that day.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it already.
And very next day, we bring you back from your celebrations. We ask you to look at, activities that you struggle with.
Yeah. And maybe doing this challenge and doing every each one of these steps, you identified new things that you didn't realize that you struggled with. So that would be this would be time to identify those.
Yes. Yeah. And because I feel, same thing like celebration, wherein you, because you have done things for so many days, your understanding of yourself and your money would have changed. And your, by this time, your struggles must have changed. So it's good day to take a look at them. And in like the last time, if we identify our problems, we can then decide how to deal with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And next day, we are not asking you to go talk to, if you have a therapist, you can talk to a therapist. If you have a finance advisor, you can talk to a finance advisor. But at very least, I would suggest talk to a friend.
Yeah.
Talk to a friend and share your thinking with your friend. It is so important to take help. And this will also force you to start talking about money with your friends, and it will give you that honesty, transparency, which growing up, at least I haven't learned that we should be shameless in talking about money. So if you are like me, this will be very helpful. Thoughts,
This is
Carolina?
huge.
Yeah.
This is huge. Yeah, like I said before, I'd never been very comfortable talking about money in general, but over the past year, I have pushed myself a little bit and opened up more, both to my therapist and to friends, and it has been a huge change. Has been really important.
Yeah. And I can, because I have known Carolina for a long time, I can say this for on her behalf. She can correct me if she wants. Well, she has her I think her challenge is a combination of two things, which is, one is she thought that if you're transactional, then you're not doing good to the world. So she wanted to save the world, and that's why she thought that she doesn't need to make money. But even to save the world, you need to make the money. So that's,
Yeah,
understand which one is you. And
yeah,
and talking to friends helps. Like,
yeah.
talking to Carolina has helped me, and talking to me has helped Carolina. And we invite you to talk to your friends and be honest. It will help both of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, 20, I wrote it, or you wrote it. I don't remember. It's just
I don't know.
blurred now, which is what I meant by this, or what I thought this means is that is review everything now. You remember when we started with the goals, we were talking about overall financial goals, not any bucket, but overall financial goals. So at this time, when you check on yourself, you're going to check in totality, because now you understand the relationship of everything else with yourself.
Yeah.
You're making money, asking for it, you're saving money, you're investing money, all those buckets, and you. So, have a conference with all of you.
Yeah, I love that idea because a lot of this work, since it's so emotional, because we think about money as just being like you said, transactional. That's how I was thinking about it before, but it's super emotional, right? The way that we spend money, the way that we don't spend money is completely connected to our emotions. So maybe doing this kind of work has brought up a lot of emotions, a lot of things that you want to avoid, a lot of things that make you angry or not, or the opposite. So checking in on that and kind of giving yourself any kind of care that you might need as you continue to deal with this, I think is important.
Yes, yes. That is the biggest takeaway, which is, in 21 days, if you're able to, the basic thing is, if you're able to take time and understand your whole picture, you're ready to deal with it, and you can be strategic, and then you can start creating your own plan. And day
Yeah.
21 is celebration.
This is the big one. This is where we pop champagne and just the fact that we made it through this 21 days.
Yeah, and celebration, and let me pull you a little back from celebration, which is, we will, on this day, we will encourage you to sit down and write down your thoughts on what do you want to take and bring it to your life after these 21 days.
Yeah.
What worked for you, what did not work for you. And we'll have a conversation on, in the Empowered Women Squad, we'll have a conversation about each one of these, wherein you can identify what was your takeaway from this, which out of this, which one was the habit that worked for you the most and you want to continue it.
Yeah.
Maybe the budget worked for you. Maybe you want to continue with that budget and keep on using it and saving more using that budget. Maybe, listening to financial resources that we provide you with worked well for you. So you want to learn more about financing yourself.
Yeah.
You suddenly became very risk taker, and or just kidding, you understood yourself that what kind of investor you are, and you started investing. Maybe you want to invest consistently.
Hmm.
Any other ones that I forgot, Carolina? No, I think we have it
No, I don't think so. Yeah, just like, yeah, going through it and seeing what, I think the checking in on yourself the day before would be really helpful as well, because you're going to know what are the things that you struggled with and what are the things that, were motivating, and then bringing that awareness into how you're going to make something a habit. Because when something is really stressful, it's never going to be a habit, right? We're never going to be able to make it into a habit. So being aware of how you feel about it helps you decide what will be able to be turned into a habit, or how you're going to do
on. Yes, 100%. I mean, you're so brilliant. Oh my God, so proud of you.
that. We're doing it together.
Yes, we are. All of us are. And so, with that, we are going to end this conversation here. But we are going to check in on you on, obviously, in the Empowered Women Squad, we are going to have continuous conversation. And we are also going to, somewhere on the midpoint, we are also going to check in, which is on, I'm going to share the date with you, which is, let me stop sharing my screen. Uh, Stop sharing my screen. Carolyn and I become big. I like this view. So we became this. And this is the next one. So Feb 24th, we are going to have a check-in point in conversation, and we are going to see how each one of us is doing with our relationship with our money.
Yeah.
And we are very excited. We are
Yeah.
extremely excited. And like, many times we mentioned this together, which is money is powerful. Whether you accept it or not, money is powerful, and financial freedom can give you freedom of many kinds. So whether you're making your own money or not, you need to start knowing that relationship and making sure that you have things for when you need them, when you have the money for when you need it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this challenge. And it's,
Oh,
it's funny because I'm the last person who would be excited about something financial, but with all of this work that I've been doing, it's just I'm really excited about sharing resources and doing the challenge. It's going to be great.
yeah, it's going to change us as people. It already has. It already, just
Yeah,
working on this for last month or so and creating this challenge has improved my own relationship with money, and I can only imagine that it's going to get even better with next 21
yeah,
days. So
for sure.
it's going to be fun. Cannot wait. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And nice to have you, Carolina. This was the fun one. We should do these kinds more often. All 21 days challenges, we should release them like this.
I love it.
Thank you, everyone who's
Thanks so much.
listening. And if you want to say anything, you know where to find us. You know where to find us, and we'll be in touch. And this challenge will be starting on Monday,
Yeah.
Monday the 16th, 15th.
Yeah, I think it's 15.
Yeah, whatever the Monday is, we are going to get started with this. So join us, do it with us, and let's get rich together.
Let's do it.
Bye
Bye.
bye.